The information I am about to share with you may come as a surprise to practically everyone on earth, particularly those who claim to be Christians. Did you know that historical data, as well as biblical texts, show that modern Jews currently residing in Israel are not the real descendants of the ancient Israelites? So, who are they? The information I am about to present to you indicates that they are not Hebrews. Rather, they are Europeans, masquerading as the descendants of the ancient Israelites. They are fraudsters and have no blood links to the ancient Israelites. Most people assume that modern Jews are descendants of the ancient Israelites. But according to the Bible, this assumption is wrong. Take a look at the following texts from the Bible. They leave no room for doubt. I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan, who claim to be Jews though they are not, but are liars. I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Revelation 3:9. Here is another. I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan. Revelation 2:9. There you have it, from the horse's own mouth, so to speak. Are you surprised to see these verses in the Bible? Most self-identified Christians, including you, don't know these writings are in the Bible. Believe it or not, most Christians do not read the Bible. As a result, their beliefs are not biblically rooted. So you have the unfortunate situation in which any group of people can make false assertions based on Scripture and get away with them. Europeans who pretend to be Jews but are not are a prime example of the lie that is passed down as gospel. Going back to the verses, please take note that those verses are a prophecy about the future. Therefore, Jews today may argue that the verses do not specifically target them. The verses could potentially target any group of people, past or present, who falsely identify as Jewish. I have to say, this is a valid point. However, other material in the Bible reveals that the information is aimed at the current crop living in the modern state of Israel. The Bible book of Ezekiel contains additional scriptural information that identifies the modern state of Israel as these liars who claim to be Jews. To ensure that you have a complete understanding of the verses in the book of Ezekiel, it is essential that I take a moment to pause and inform you that the most effective method for comprehending Bible passages is to examine them in conjunction with their context. This is especially true with regard to the words found in the book of Ezekiel. The first thing we need to do is find out who the prophet Ezekiel was, when he lived, and what the situation was with the Israelites at the time he wrote down the information God gave him. The Bible book of Jeremiah describes how God used the Babylonians under Nebuchadnezzar to destroy the nation of Israel and scatter the inhabitants into exile. The Babylonians took one group of Israelites into exile in Babylon. The majority of those who escaped the Babylonian destruction fled to Africa. Ezekiel was a 6th century BC Hebrew priest among those taken into exile in Babylon. Thus, he was a prominent prophet who ministered to the Hebrew exiles in Babylon during the Babylonian captivity. The book of Ezekiel, which records his visions and actions, is named after him. He is well known for his dramatic, symbolic visions, such as the Valley of Dry Bones and the Divine Chariot, as well as his warnings of Jerusalem's destruction while promising eventual restoration. His prophecy in chapters 37 to 39, sometimes known as the Valley of Dry Bones, provides the evidence we need to show that the current inhabitants of the land of Israel, who claim to be Jews, are liars. As I mentioned previously, to ensure you have a complete understanding of the verses I will be showing you in the book of Ezekiel, it is essential to remember that the most effective way to comprehend Bible passages is to examine them alongside their context. Thus, I strongly encourage you to read the entire text of Ezekiel, chapters 37 through 39, to grasp the verses I emphasize, which illustrate that the present inhabitants of Israel, who identify as Jews, are deceivers. The verses in Ezekiel chapter 37 indicate how and when God gathers back the Hebrews in exile from the four corners of the earth and restores them as his chosen people. Chapters 38 and 39 clearly illustrate that this event will initiate the Great War, also referred to as Armageddon, as mentioned in the book of Revelation. Thus, according to the book of Ezekiel, God restores the exiled Israelites back to their ancient home in Israel during and after Armageddon. The gathering of the Hebrews from exile and the War of Armageddon are events that have yet to occur. Given the evidence from the Bible, the pertinent question arises. Given the fact that Ezekiel's prophecy has yet to be fulfilled, who are these people who are in the land of Israel asserting their identity as Jews? Take a moment to reflect on that. Do you see the problem? The existence of individuals claiming Jewish identity in the land of Israel prior to the fulfillment of Ezekiel's prophecies is a clear indication that there is deception at play. Those perpetuating the fraud are the synagogue of Satan that Jesus was referring to in Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, and Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. So there you have it. The biblical information clearly shows modern Jews in the land of Israel are not who they claim to be. They are liars from the synagogue of Satan. Having successfully executed the deception, the god of this world, known as Satan, utilized the USA and NATO to provide the essential support and authority needed to establish and secure their position in the holy place of the Hebrews in exile. Once more, Jesus Christ cautioned about this occurring in the final days. So when you see, standing in the holy place, the abomination that causes desolation, spoken of through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand. Matthew 24:15. There you have it. The abomination established by Satan stands in the holy place, intended to bring desolation to the Middle East while it flourishes and grows. To avoid being drawn into supporting the current situation, remain vigilant and do not allow yourselves to be deceived by Satan and his antics on this earth. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please like and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be notified of future videos on this subject and avoid being deceived by Satan and his minions, who currently dominate the world and masquerade as the angels of light. Stay alert. Also, look out for my next video, which reveals the true identity of these modern Jews masquerading as the descendants of the ancient Israelites. Goodbye, and I hope to see you in my next video.